All right, let us start with 3 ohms. Today's is going to be a very jam power packed session. Okay, so let us prepare ourselves. Yeah, there we go. Hands in Gyan Mudra. 3 ohms. Sorry. Today's is going to be a very jam power packed session. Hands in Jnana Mudra or Dhyana Mudra. Sit up straight, back straight, neck straight, gentle smile on your face. Relax all the muscles in your cheek. Relax your forehead. Nice and deep breath. Oh. 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 Rub your palms together. Shanti. 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 Place your palms gently on your eyes, face, entire body, and bow down. Jai Jinendra Sabiko. Now, today, before my presentation, I would request Chiranshi um, to start her little presentation, and we will all mark her presentation, okay? Just like we do each time on a scale of 1 to 10. Over to you, Chiranshi. And Arhan Samyak, thanks for showing up. I know it's a Sunday night for you, not your batch, but I'm very glad you have shown up. And same to everyone else. Yes, Chiranshi.
Okay.
So I've allowed you to share your screen here. Good.
Dravya Gun Paryay. What is Dravya Gun and Paryay? Dravya. There are 6 Dravyas: Jeev, anything that can see and know or has Atma. Budgal, anything that cannot see and know, is non-living, like this car. Dharma is motion, like this person running. Adharma is motionless, as you can see this person is like frozen. Akash is the empty space outside and inside of 3 loks, so all the space inside and all the space outside. Kal is samay or duration. The Vishwa is made out of Dravya. The Dravya is made out of Gun. Gun can never get destroyed, hence the Vishwa is never destroyed. Gun. Gun is an attribute of a Dravya. Each Dravya has infinite guns, and guns never get destroyed. For instance, our Atma has uncountable attributes such as happiness, Gyan, Shraddha, Purusharth, Charitra, etc. There are 2 types of gun, common and specific guns, Samanya and Vishesh. All common gun are same in all 6 dravyas. All dravyas qualify because of common guns, and we can differentiate them because of specific guns. Specific guns are not common to all dravyas, they're particular to their specific dravyas. 6 types of common guns. Astitva, Vastutva, Dravyatva, Parmayatva, Agurulagatva, and Pradeshatva. So, Astitva and Vastutva gun. Astitva gun. Because of this gun, no Dravya gets destroyed. This gun proves that all exist. Vastutva gun. Because of Vastutva gun, nothing is purposeful. I mean, everything is purposeful, nothing is useless. Next is Dravyatva and Pramayatva gun. Dravyatva gun. This gun shows that state of the Dravya is always changing, but the Dravya will always be the same. Every object is a Dravya. Pramayatva gun. This gun allows the Dravya to be identical, known by someone or something. It never remains unknown or unidentified. Next is Aguru Lagutva and Pradeshatva gun. Aguru Lagutva gun. The Dravya keeps its nature because of this gun. Anant gun don't scatter because of Aguru Lagutva gun. Also because of this gun, one Dravya / gun doesn't take a form of another Dravya or gun. Pradeshatva gun. This gun means that each Dravya has a shape because of this gun. No dravya becomes shapeless because of Pradeshatva gun. So this apple is not equal to the lemon. And then Paryay. Paryay is the state of the dravya or good. For instance, gold. Let's say you have a gold earring, which you decide to melt and turn into a gold necklace. Remember the dravya can never change. Gold can never turn into a living being. And the gun will never change as well. It'll always be shining. But one thing changed, which was the paryay, the state of the gold changed. In a deeper perspective, our Atma will be living and have the same guns, but just our bodies, sasha paryayas, keep on changing. Paryay is constantly changing in dravya and gun. Without dravya, there is no paryay. Alteration in every moment is paryay. Paryay are never the same in dravya, are never same in the dravya. A paryay will never repeat. In one samay, there are ananta dravya, anant paryay. Jai Jinendra.
Amazing. Excellent. Beautiful. That was super duper. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you can just type in the chat box how many points would you like to give her? And if there's any specific points of appreciation, anything you really loved about it, you can write in the chat box. That was so good. Chiranshi, I must tell you, this is a very, very difficult topic, a very important one of the key topics. And guess what? This can be one of the presentations
9.5.
for Jain Dharam ki Gaurav Gatha, because Jainism is the one which expresses very clearly about Dravya Gun and Paryay. And I love the graphics which you used in there. It was so good. Okay, Samyak goes 9.5, right, Samyak?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do to make it to a 10? Arvi, I'm
Give
coming to
it
you.
more details.
Uh-huh. Write more details, like?
Like for the gold thing, it not just that it's shining, but the one thing that remains is that it's always gold.
Right. Okay. Yeah. The dravya. Okay. The permanence could have been mentioned.
Satya Dravya.
Yes. The dravya. Okay. Yes. Yes, Harvey, you wanted to say something?
It's okay. I got my answer already.
All right. That's fine. So, Chiranshi, we've got mostly 10 on 10, which is amazing. Adyansh, आपको कुछ बोलना है बेटा?
I gave it 99999999999 out of
Okay.
10 because it was very detailed and it told enough. It didn't tell too much, but it didn't tell too less.
Right. It was just perfect, isn't it? It was so, so good. Great examples, excellent definitions in deep summaries, depth summaries. Although a few spelling mistakes. Okay, maybe you could correct the spelling mistakes if you had any. Dhruvi, do you want to say something?
So can I also present mine presentation?
Should we do it at the end? Would you be happy for that? Or
Sure.
do you want to do it now? Will you be okay to wait?
Sure.
All right, because I've got three presentations. All right, this is amazing. I would give you a 9.999 as well, like a Dhyansh. And why? I would have, Prasad goes 9.5. And Prasad, what would you do to bring it to a 10? The only thing I would add to the presentation is the Utpadvyay Dravya, which I have not taught you yet, but because you know that, okay? And because the Dravya is what stays constant, the Gun because of the gunas, okay, and the paryas were changing. So the paryas keep changing, yet the dravya never ever leaves its real state, leaves its real attributes, its qualities. Okay, brilliant. Prasuk, do you want to say anything?
You could have added more details. Yes.
Yeah, more details. Though you know what? For your level, for the Balboard level, this was more than enough. This was like top notch. Okay. When we go to the Vitarag Vigyan level, though, you would be good to add the Utpad Vyay Dravya. Okay. I would not expect that for this level, Chiranshi, but I would expect you to do it because you know well beyond your level. Okay. You are outstanding. Excellent. Okay. Now, Dhruvi, are you sure you'll be okay if I go first? All right, thank you. Now, for all those who've had queries about what does Jain Dharm ki Gaurav Gatha, what does Gaurav mean? It is the glory. Which glory are we speaking about here today? That is what we are going to discuss today. All right, can you see my screen? Yes? Excellent. Now, I've got about 30 slides here. You can include any one or more of them into your presentations, okay? So you don't have to take the slide as it is. The content can be altered, could be in a different form. So creativity is your work to do now. Who is a Jain? What does Jainism mean? When we say Jain Dharam ki Gaurav Gatha, yes, Samyak? I'm not asking questions here, okay? I'll take your questions at the end. Is there something more important you want to say? Samyak? No. All right. So, who even is a Jain? Where does the term Jain come from? How is it coined? So, Jain comes from the word Jina, which means a spiritual victor. Okay? Someone who has conquered their inner enemies. And you can say, what are your inner enemies? Anger, ego, deceit, greed, fear, attachment, and aversion. Okay? Now, one of the most salient feature of Jainism is the Vitarag Sarvagya and Hitopadeshita of our Bhagwans. What is very different between our Bhagwans who are Jinendra and all others, the Vitaragta. Okay? And because of this, Jainism is an art and it's also the science of happiness. And what sort of happiness is this? This is infinite happiness and bliss. Since when has Jainism been around? So the antiquity, one of you might be able to talk about the antiquity, about what does Anadi Anant even mean? So it's always been there. Why will it never be destroyed? Again, we'll talk about the Dravya Gun Paryaya aspect. The unique teachings of Jainism, the three A's, which are the three pillars of Jainism, Ahimsa, Anekantavad, and Aparigraha. What does each of them mean? Why are these the principal doctrines of Jainism? Okay, and many other religions in the world, most religions will talk about non-violence. Okay, but Jainism goes very, very deep and they talk about non-violence through mind, speech, and action, all the three together. So the mind, body, and the spirit is all in harmony. What does Anekantavad mean? One of you can take up the topic of Anekantavad. Okay, there would be no fights, no wars in the world if everyone understands this. So it is one solution to all modern day problems. And aparigraha or non-attachment, non-possessiveness. If there wasn't so much greed, there would be enough for everyone's need in the world. How does ahimsa, anekantavad, and aparigraha change our life? How will it make us a better human being? Because there'll be respect, reverence for everyone. And ahimsa, even at the micro level, like in terms of preserving earth, water, air, fire, and vegetation and plants. What difference will Anekantavad make into our life? What does Anekantavad mean? It's open mindedness, active listening. Most of us, when we listen, we are listening to talk. We want to go next. But Anekantavad will make us better listeners and understand different viewpoints and appreciate others' viewpoints as well. Aparigraha, limiting our personal needs and possessions because they can harm the environment and they also increase attachment. So they are like obstacles in our spiritual progress. What is parigraha? Parigraha is the primary cause of violence. And you know what? When there is aparigraha, that's the only time when non-violence can be attained. Next, one of you can talk about the three chords, the holy trinity of Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra, which is right belief or right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct, which means a right lifestyle. Okay? What else? Very, very important. Most other religions in the world will say that dash 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 is a creator, like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. One created, one destroyed, one is a preserver. But Jainism is the only religion which says God is not a creator, preserver, or destroyer. And there comes Chiranshi or Utpad Vyay Dravya. Okay? The very prime doctrine of Jainism. And second point, every living being has the potential to become God. Okay? Each one of us. There is no other religion in the world which says कि सभी जीव भगवान बन सकते हैं. Do you know of any? I haven't heard of any. And we all haven't heard of any because there is no religion in the world. So that is really the glory of Jainism, that it helps us to unleash our real potential. The path of liberation, what is the moksha marg? It comprises of right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. And how can we conquer our desires? Just like our desires are on fire all the time. Okay, you want one thing after the other. And if we have our desires burning, we will never attain liberation. If we want to attain liberation, Jainism talks about the five vows. You and I are Shravak, so we can take partial vows, and Muniraj take complete vows. So Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. One of you can pick that up. What are inherent? Samyak, do you want to say something?
Nah, I can leave
Okay.
it for you.
All right, sure, thanks. What are inherent qualities of our soul? One of you can just talk about the soul because Jainism talks about the soul is like the supreme. And why? Because it has infinite knowledge, perception, energy, bliss, and andarshan, gyan, sukha, and virya, along with many other infinite qualities. How can we even attain moksha? Jain Dharam, it just not gives you a solution and leaves it there. Okay, it takes you through the path of how to reach the final frontier of an exact step by step procedure of how to do it. Okay, so proper knowledge of the dravyas and tattvas is very essential for Ratnatraya. And along with that, self purification, penance, austerity like vrat karna, tap karna, and most importantly, dhyan karna. Without meditation, none of the Tirthankars or Bhagwans would have gone to moksha. So that is one thing you and I must learn for sure. Now, what are the six dravyas, which Shiranshi has already explained to us? What are the Jain beliefs? What are some of the beliefs that you've learned? Like all the souls are equal, so equanimosity. A soul is never created nor destroyed, and similarly, all the dravyas are never created or destroyed. But what happens? Forms change. We just reincarnate from one form to the other. What is our goal? Why do all of us show up at Pathshala every week? Okay, and very important in Jainism, God is worshipped as a supreme being, okay, as a perfected soul. We do not worship any person, okay, just like most other religions, a particular person is a god, but in Jainism, it is not about Vyakti Vishesh, it is not about a proper noun or a person, but it is about the qualities in a person, okay, the personality traits that we worship. That's why our five Parmeshtis are not names for five people. Okay? There's so many jivas who are included in the five Parmeshtis. What are the Jain values? How can Jain values change your life? This could be one of your topic. Like it brings compassion in our heart, non-violent speech and thought, positive thoughts and good wishes for everyone. There's no envy, jealousy, no bad vibes, and reverence for all lives. Again, respect for every living being. And very important, living with values instead of just hoarding on money. Okay? Respecting and tolerating other views. This is a very important one. We all need to be more tolerant of each other. Now, you can talk about the Jain geography, how the geography which we learn in school is very different from that which is given in Jainism. How there's the upper, lower, and the middle world where we live. And then there's the Alok, where there's only Akash Dravya. You can talk a little bit about what is Jainism. Okay, it's not just a science, but it's an art, it's a way of life. It is one of the oldest religions of the world. How Jainism was not created by Mahavira. A lot of the Google sites will say Jainism was started by Mahavira. But you can negate that. You can say, no, It has always been there. And how it believes in the cyclical nature of the universe. Most other religions will go linear, like birth, death, and then you either go up to hell or down to heaven. But how we believe in the four gatis, and there's a path to take you out of the four gatis. So, option five, okay, how Jainism lays a heavy emphasis on ahimsa, and every action which a Jain does is through the perspective of ahimsa. Okay, how all Tirthankars were born as human beings. None of them was born as a god. That's another important point. And later they've attained the state of perfection. And that's why we call them the gods. Jains have always practiced so many different values, whatever values you follow in your home. And environmentalism is a very important one. I think I've got a whole slide on that one. Yeah, another important one. Jainism does not teach us only the art of living, it also teaches us the art of dying, and that is through Sallekkhana. Because we all have taken birth and we all will die one day, just like everything you buy from the supermarket comes with the expiry date. The body is a thing and we will disintegrate someday. Along with the art, how Jainism is scientific. Okay? Uh, the microscope might not be able to see what Sarvagya Bhagwan can see with his knowledge. How going green, how saving water, uh, and how saving the earth can be very, very, very easily possible. What is the Jain psychology? How we take care of each other's thoughts and emotions. That can also be a very important one. Now, most other religions in the world will say God is an external entity. Okay, we bow down to someone outside. Jainism is very, very special and unique because Jainism says God is within each one of us. Isn't that the glory of Jainism? Isn't that what makes Jainism really special? And coming back to the linearity, how other religions will say birth, death, up or down. And Jainism says we've been playing this ringa ringa rosy, okay, forever in the four gatis. But there's an option of Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitra, enlightenment, which is Keval Gyan and Nirvan, and how we can eliminate this cycle of karmic bondage. How does Jainism bring change? Here comes the practical aspect of Jainism. Am I going too fast for y'all? All good? Okay. And I'll take questions at the end. Okay. How can it change our lives? It controls our destructive emotions. Such an important one. Okay. What are your destructive emotions? Abstain from physical. So first we took care of the bhav, then taking care of the actions. Okay. There'll be less violence, lies, stealing, less burglary in the world. And how our Jain family, how your family has its own values. What are the values you live by? And how will they bring a change? How can we control our emotions? Forgiveness. This is one special quality, special attribute which Jains follow. That's forgiveness. Arrogance, getting rid of arrogance by being humble. Deception, no mayachari, by being truthful or honest. And taking care of our greed. We are all greedy at times, but raising our bar of contentment and satisfaction. Now, major emphasis, everything that a Jain does is through the lens of ahimsa. Jain believes all souls are equal, and then we've studied this ahimsa, aparigraha, and anikantavad. Also, Jains believe in karma. Jains believe in rebirth. Do you know there's some religions which don't believe in karma and rebirth? They just believe this is one life, just eat, drink, and be merry. Okay, but Jainism is very special. It tells us, no, think of the future and the three jewels. No other religion will so beautifully explain the path of moksha through the three jewels. Not just having faith is enough, but the right knowledge, not right knowledge alone and faith, but bringing it into our lives. How the conduct is equally important and very important. How does Jainism teach about ecology or environmentalism? How Jains can make the world a better place? And the word Jain does not have to be a surname, like I don't have to be a Jain by birth. how even a non-Jain can follow the Jain philosophy and help Mother Nature through aparigraha, through discipline. Self-restraint is the most important thing which Jainism teaches us. Minimizing our consumption, that also allows respect for others. How reduce, reuse, and recycle. Well, I'm sure you all have learned that in your school, okay? And do not waste the gifts of nature. How knowing about the one sense jeeves, earth, water, air, fire, and plants, will bring in more compassion in your hearts. How nature provides enough for our need, but there'll never be enough for our greed. You can talk about the Jain symbols and the this is called the Abhay Hasta, and it brings about a sense of fearlessness in us because it signifies assurance to have faith and change the path. Whatever I'm doing wrong right now, change it to righteousness. How the 24 spokes here mean the 24 Tirthankars and ahimsa. Whatever I'm doing, do it from the lens of ahimsa. What does the moon here mean? That's where we want to go. Okay? That's where all the siddhas live on the Siddhashila. What do the three dots mean? And what does the teen lok mean? You can explain that. And also, see, ahimsa in our conduct. Acharan mein ahimsa. In our thoughts, we should have anekantvad. Okay? Vicharo mein anekantvad. In our words, we should have syadvad. And in our life, we should follow aparigraha. So, how every symbol of Jainism has been created so thoughtfully and how it can change our lives for good. What does the word parasparopagraha jivanam mean? We all coexist for each other. Okay, one cannot live without the other. We are all separate, but how we are all needed for coexistence. Such a beautiful theory. And like we saw before, Jainism follows the practice of a universal forgiveness day. Sabse sama, Shabko Shama, or Uttam Shama. And what does the word Uttam mean? That which has Samyak Darshan, Samyak Jnana, and Samyak Charitra. And Michami Dukram or Uttam Shama, and the power of forgiveness, how it can help you get rid of all your sins. Last slide here, how we could have a family just like our first Tirthankar Adinath Bhagwan had. Okay, he, his son Bharat, and his other son Bahubali, all three of them reside in Moksha right now. And how cool would it be for all of our family members to reside in Moksha? Okay, would we all like to be a family that resides in Moksha together? Well, we all want to be together forever, isn't it? Why not let's go to Moksha? Okay, did you enjoy that presentation?
Yeah.
Yes, lots of ideas given to you now. I've got two more very small presentations. They're very basic. If was this difficult for anyone? Was it like a bit too much for your age, Arhan? I think Arhan would be the youngest. Arhan, did you like it? Could you get a few points? Excellent. I've got one more. Yes, Arvi, bolo beta.
So, the last question you asked, it wasn't even a question. You were just the last slide you did. It was asking like how would it be if you and your family were all in Moksha, but like what would be the point? Because you may like Bhagwan can like know everything when they're Moksha, right?
Hmm.
So would they still
Yeah.
know that, oh, I was this person before?
Oh, yes, because Bhagwan knows that could be one of the properties of the glory of Jainism. Because what does Sarvagya mean? He knows the past, he knows the present, and he knows the future of not just his family, but all the dravyas in the world. Not just humans, but all the substances in the world. He knows everything about everyone in the world. Okay? That could be another point. There you go, Arvi.
Mm.
Okay. Now, one of you could. Now, this is something a little bit about creativity. Okay. Very few slides here. Yes, Adyansh? Bolo beta.
I have an answer for the question you shared. Where do you
Yes.
want to go for a vacation? I don't
Uh-huh.
want to go anywhere in these three. I want to go to Moksha.
Oh, wonderful. How special you are, Adyansh. Okay. So, most of us have got a bucket list, isn't it? Like mom and dad will give you You might have your own diaries where you write wherever you want to go. Who's going to such and such a place for Easter? We all plan our holidays, but have we really planned our life? Okay. Um, and we all have so many holidays where we want to go to. But guess what? When you stay there for a week or 10 days, don't we all feel like coming back home? Like home sweet home. Okay, every time I go to India, I love going and seeing my parents. But then I wait to come back to Australia. I wait to come back home. Just like that, our soul, no matter where we go, it feels at home only when we stop looking outside and we are engrossed in ourselves. Now, Jain Dharma gives you a choice, okay? Just like mom and dad give you a choice. What if you had to choose between New Zealand, between Hawaii, and between Egypt? Okay? Like that, there's another choice which Jainism gives you. Okay? The four gatis, and we've studied the four gatis in great detail. Okay? So I'm not going to take that now. But out of these four gatis, the maximum time we've spent is in the Nigod, which is Tiryaj gati. Nigod is the plant sense jeeves, okay, the Sadharan jeeves. We've spent maximum of our time there. And how does it feel in Nigod? One of you could do a presentation of how it would feel in Nigod. See, at least Dev, Manush, Tiryansh, cows, buffaloes, they can feel, okay, goats, when they are held with their feet and they're going to be killed, they can feel the fear. But Nigodhya Jiva just one sensed. And how do you know that Nigodhya Jiva is in pain? Imagine you're closing your eyes, your ears, shutting your mouth, you're covering a cloth on your mouth, okay? And you're just put in this big bag, which is tied up, okay? And then you're inflicted to a lot of injuries. Will you feel the pain? Yes. Will you be able to express the pain? No, no one's going to hear you because you're not going to be loud enough because your power of expression is close to zero in Nigod. And that's why it's said that Nigodhya Jeev experience infinite times more pain than Naragati Jeeves. Because when you and I went to Naragati, we could shout, we could scream, we could hit others back. But in Nigod, that's not to be. Okay, what is the system of justice in Jain Dharma? So this would be according to Karnani Yoga. Okay, so the law of nature, whatever we do, we just get the same thing back. Our thoughts really matter, and that's like an automated system. Who gives us karmas? I do something right, and I get the right fruits. I get pleasure in my life. Who decides all that? So this is an automated system, a very high-tech dharma. Okay, it's not out of date. It's a very up-to-date dharma. Nothing is hidden. Okay, when we do good things, we get either Devgati or Manushagati. Do something bad, and we all know we'll go to Narak, Tiryanj, or Nigod. Okay, and our gatis are the fruits of our, or it's the punishment for what we have done. Okay, do you think Manushgati, there's no punishments? Do you think there's no pain in Manushgati? Well, we've just seen the war of Ukraine and Gaza and what's happening to the little kids there. Okay, so much pain. What is the reason behind all this pain? One of you can present on Mithyatva. How Jainism tells us the big monster aim of Mithyatva is the reason for all the pap in the world. Okay, and when we get rid of Mithyatva, that's when we will actually go home to our soul and also go home in moksha, because moksha is our real home. And so we spoke of the four gatis, and you and I mostly we've spent time in the four gatis, but the VIPs, okay, they have a super duper destination for their holiday, for their eternal holidays, okay, and that is in moksha. So who wants to be a member of the VIP club? One of you could do that one. Oh, yes, I can see so many hands up there. And
Me?
one more very small presentation. It's a very, very cool one. You're going to love this. And it's again about Dravyagun Pariyai, something which Chiranshi mentioned today. Okay, can Jain Dharma ever be destroyed? No. Why not? Just like the sweetness of sugar cannot be removed by anyone, cannot be destroyed. Saltiness of salt, the sourness of a lemon can never be destroyed. Why? because that is its nature. वो उसका स्वभाव है, sweet, salt, and sour. Okay, like that. I am a jeev, and my nature is just to know and to see. Is there any jeev who does not know and who does not see and who does not experience happiness and pain? You will never find a living being like that. Okay? So Jain Dharma tells us about the nature. Okay? Our Arihants, our Tirthankars have told us that our nature can never ever be destroyed. And then there's other teachings of Bhagwan's. See, such a beautiful representation here that sabhi atmaएं barabar hai, right from the ant to the elephant. All souls are same. They might not be same in size, but they have the same potential. You never know, a pig might become a Bhagwan before you and me. So always respect each one of them. Respect the soul within each one of them. And how can we become Bhagwan? By putting in the right efforts. Okay, so Bhagwan in the past, he was a Muni. Before that, he was a layman like you and me. He went to school for it. He must have cooked food. He must have done everything and then realized, no, I deserve a better life. So the day you and I realize that we deserve better, that's when we will prepare for the path to go to moksha. And Bhagwan does not make anything, does not create anything. He only knows everything. Okay? Um, what is our nature? Not to get angry, not to yell, just to do dhyan, just to know and see at all times. And if we don't stay in our own nature, this is what happens. Okay? Anger, fear, greed. Okay? Krodh, man, maya, lobh. But if we correct our mistakes, if we know this is the mithyatva is the root reason behind this, and if we correct our mistakes, then we are also going to become Bhagwan. And the glory of Jainism is for you to be very, very proud about the Jain Dharma. Because if we did not have Arihants, who would have taught your parents, your grandparents, who would have taught you about the path to go to moksha? So, this was a little bit from the Dravyana Yoga aspect. Did you enjoy the presentations? Now I've given you lots and lots of ideas to choose from. You can make like maybe one session we can make a passport for ourselves. You know, wherever you want to go, we can make a passport to moksha, and you can write the prerequisites for that. Okay, dokie. Any questions here? My goodness, so many messages in the chat box. I was going too fast, Zoe says. Okay. Are we doing a Kahoot after? What is ECT? Because everyone, okay, etc. All right. And all, that's what it means. Okay. Any queries? I hope everyone has got lots of ideas. Today is, I hope I haven't bombarded you with too much information today. Okay, now we will hand over to Dhruvi. Thank you for being so patient, Dhruvi. Yes, Arvi, bolo.
When is our Chandram ke Garam Gata due?
Would would a week be enough? Now, some of y'all have already done a wonderful presentation, like Vihan, Arvi, Chiranshi. You both were not there in the beginning, but I am so pleased with your presentation.
And
If there's
when are you gonna show like each other's? Like when is the competition?
Once everyone is ready with theirs. So maybe from next week we can start. Do you think 7 days would be enough? And if you're already done, aren't you, Arvi?
I'm just asking, like, when is everyone gonna share theirs?
Well, before the 15th of May, let's try to do it in the next 2 weeks. Because I'll tell you what, if you don't have time in the next 2 weeks, I've already given you like 2 weeks before. If you don't have time in the next 2 weeks, you're never going to have time. All right? So don't come up with lame excuses. If there's something very genuine, you can tell me. But we all have enough time, okay? What is it? I didn't see it. Okay, Neev and Meher, can we all stop writing in the chat box? What is important will be conveyed to you. Okay, it's very, very distracting. Yes, over to Dhruvi now, and we'll all sit very patiently to watch Dhruvi's presentation.
Chargati. Chargati's definition. Definition. The particular state of any jeev. Whatever body they are is because of their gati. We get that specific gati because of gati naam karma. For gati definition. जब कोई जीव मरकर. What are the gatis? Manushya gati, humans. Diryansh gati, animals. Dev gati, dev or devi. Nar gati, narkis. Problems in the four gatis. Birth and death / janma or marna. Ignition / occulta, feeling sad and wanting everything. Dependence / vedanta. Ignorance / agyanta, not having gyan or ignoring gyan. Manushya gati. We are in Manushya gati because of these things. Less parigra. Love, more than what you need, have in limit. Less crookedness. Keeping good thoughts, doing less mayachari, listening or reading Janvani. Less abram. Less hinsa. Definition. When any living being dies elsewhere and gains Manushya gati, that state is called Manushya gati. Manushya gati problems. While getting born in the womb, we get a lot of sadness. Getting out of the womb, studies, job / income, marriage, working out family / keep them maintained, health issues, old age, and death. Cause of Diryansh gati. Debtful attitude, crookedness, fraud, and mayachari, cheating. Parinam ki karta, not doing the right thing or not using the good advice people give. For example, someone told you to not fight, but you still do. Tangna, cheating. Shopkeeper selling more than the actual price. Definition. When any living being dies elsewhere and gains animal body, then that state is called Diryansh gati. 4 to 1 Indriya jeeves are definitely Diryansh gati. Diryansh gati problems. Istravar jeev, hinsa, trying to find food, hinsa, killing for food, etc. Not only animals eating animals, but also people killing animals. Keeping themselves safe, toleration, people hitting them to work, selling animals and then killing them, have to tolerate the weather. Narakati. Definition. When any living being dies elsewhere and gains naraki body, then that state is called narakati. Sadness, knives, blood, river, more parigra, more cruelness / madness. Narakati problems. When you land on the floor, it feels like a lot of snakes bite them. From far, they look at a river look like water, but when you go close to it, a river full of blood and gross stuff. No food or water, not even a bite of or drop of water. Too much hot or too much cold, horrible weather. They have to be in Nagati for us years. Go below a shade, looks like a tree, but turns out that the leaves are like knives and cut you down. But you rebuild again. It hurts. Devgati. Akam Nidra. No wish, but still you have to do it. Example. Suppose you thought that Atma is mine and body is not, so the karmas will come and go away immediately. You have no wish, means you have no, which means you have no rag and dvesh, and you still have to do meaning. Example, doing
Ikashan.
akashan but don't want to do it and having duk. Sarak, Sarak,
Sarag,
Sargas,
Sarag Sayam.
Sarag saying, you are doing your from your heart and doing rag. राग से स्वयं का पालन करना. मंदिर जा रहा है because we think Bhagwan will do good back to us. Doing good because of our personal reason, you having rag. Balta. You do something without understanding / activity. For example, we're going to the temple, but we're going to the temple, but definition. When any living being dies elsewhere and gains Dev/Devi body, then that state is called Devgati. Devgati Duk. Want more, never get satisfied, jealousy, dead time. 6 months before their eyesight gets weak, their necklace get dull, and they get too much low. Akulta, which can get them to establish. Big Dave get use of small Dave. Example, they tell you the Dave is become a boat, and now the Indra sits on it. More facts. From Manishakati, we can go to moksha, but it's not good, and it's also a sin reason. And it depends on how you are, and all the gatis don't have happiness. Because of mithyatva, opposite of doing what's said. We have to go to all around sansar, mithyatva, opposite thinking. Facts. We should try to take away attachment. Gati to karma. Manushya gati, man, Diryansh gati, maya, dev, lobh, nargati, crowd. Crime kashai. Mostly people do that. Kashai, जो आत्मा को कैसे जो आत्मा को दुख दे, forcefully getting us to do the wrong way. We get kashai because of mithyatva, and because of mithyatva, we get rag, dvesh, then lobh, and lastly 5 bhaks. Jai Jinendra.
Super duper. Do you want to stop sharing? Excellent. Can we all give her a big, big, big hand? Now, Dhruvi, that was the longest presentation I've ever seen in any of the batches. That was like packed a punch. So much information there for your level. Brilliant. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, 1 second. We've got too many messages here. All right, we've already started. Are we 10 on 10? Good job, Dhruvi. Good explanation. 10 on 10, 8 on 10. Rohan, what would you have done to bring it up to
maybe
10?
make it like, you know how this like the spelling was a little bit like not the spelling but like the like the spacing and stuff. It was a little bit too hard for me to read, and like the pronunciation. But other than that, it was okay.
Yeah, I would give it an 8.5 for the same reasons.
8.5. Okay. Avi goes 9.8. It was a bit too long. Well, Avi, she covered everything about the four gadis. Some of those things we haven't even studied yet. It was a very detailed presentation. Agreed, Dhruvi. Yes, Adyansh.
We're Manushkati.
We're
Manushya.
That's right, Manushya. Yes. Bolo, Rohan?
How much time do you spend in Narak? Like years?
A minimum is 10,000 years.
Oh.
Okay, that's a very long time, and the maximum is in the seventh narak. It is 33 sagar, 33 sagar. And
Wait.
don't even ask me what sagar is, because it is like uncountable years in one class. So, understanding what Sagar and what this height of Raju comes under Jain mathematics, and we will surely study that in some class. Okay? Like, what was the height of Adinath Bhagwan? He was like, um, you and I cannot even imagine how tall he was. He was like 3/4 of a kilometer. Like, that would be about 2 miles. Can you imagine someone as long, as tall? All right. But that was brilliant. Dhruvi and Shiranshi, kudos. Did mom or dad help you with that?
For my presentation, she helped me like
Okay.
a lot, and
Uh-huh.
then yeah.
All right.
It's
If mom or dad has helped you, that's totally fine. Feel free to grab as much help as you can from anyone you can, but just don't forget to thank them for all their effort. So, Dhruvi, make sure you thank Shiranshi, and Shiranshi, make sure you thank mom and dad for making you so capable to present on this brilliant topic. Okay? Excellent. Was that tiring? A bit too many presentations today for one day. No, Samyak goes no, which is good. Maybe not a Kahoot today. It's
Never
almost,
too many presentations in a day.
that's good. That's good. One day, we will do present very, very soon. For those who finish, make sure some of you can try to finish by next week. Um, we can start presenting for those who have finished with the glory of Jainism. Now, I hope no one is going to tell me, I don't know what to do. I don't have enough time to do. Please don't give me lame excuses. Yes, Rohan, Adyansh,
We never did the movie.
we never did the movie. Well, it's been quite late today. We'll do it some other time. Okay? I don't want you all to get late to school. Should we finish with a stuti today? So, no questions? Yes, Arvi? Arvi wants to do the stuti, or do you have a question? All right, stuti time. Chalo.
निज निधि निज में बताए यह अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए चिन्हवानी माँ को वंदना शतबार है वंदना शतबार है
Jai Jinen Sabiko. See you all next week. Some of you all, I'll see you on Wednesday. So, for those who don't know, on Tuesday night US time, there is an advanced class, okay? Not that you have to attend, but those who are free and those who would like to amp up their knowledge, you are most welcome to attend. It is 7:45, not 7:30, but 7:45 EST. All right?